Hello, everyone, and welcome to 2023, an absolutely arbitrary division in the calendar. Nonetheless, it is a new year. It's a new year for everyone, for the IKS, of course. And today I'm just going to kind of talk a little bit about what's kind of new for us and what to expect in the year to come. I notice I did not start a stage. So why don't I do that right now? There we are. All right, we're on. Okay. Um, it's been a glorious year for the IKS. We have grown massively in the past year. We're almost about to surpass 1,000 subscribers to our YouTube channel. If you do not yet subscribe to our YouTube, please do so. We have all kinds of activity in the organization. Even right now, as we speak, a game is underway. It's New Year's Day, but hey, people are on. We've got about 8 or 9, 10 people, I don't know how many, playing a game. It's Sunday morning. And what that tells us is that we have games going on all the time. That tells you. And it's a great way to get involved with Kriegsspiel. So if you haven't got into the game yet, if you haven't been playing, I invite you to join the IKS, join our Discord. If you're interested in finding out how to do all of this, if you're seeing this video kind of out of the blue and you don't know about our Discord or anything, then I would strongly encourage you to visit our website. Here is our website. And this is one of the new things that we put together over the year. And here's our website. We have all kinds of stuff here. How to play. We have resources, including maps and more. We have all of our map collections here. We have, of course, merch and all that, but I'm really more interested in the resources. For example, our modules. How do you actually play? Well, you get our module collection. If we click here, it should take you to Steam. And look at all the modules that we've built for Kriegsspiel. All these different collections that you can get into and just start playing. And let's see, I think we had another resource. We have rules and so on. So you can pick the rules that you want to use to play Kriegsspiel, because Kriegsspiel is more a style or a way of simulating military engagements rather than a specific rule set. So there are different rule sets. The Prussians redeveloped Kriegsspiel constantly during the 19th century, so that there are multiple Prussian rule sets for the game. Makes sense, of course. You have this rapid development of technology. You have different circumstances, so that from one decade to the next, things on the battlefield are different. You have to update those rules. So they just made new rule sets and so on. We have modern rule sets, the Ottovsky system in K22, which is now, hey, we're out of the year. So now it's history, man. It's no longer the current year. We're not going to change the name. K22 is always K22. But again, these two systems here are designed for how we play Kriegsspiel online. This one here in particular, K22, is perfect for playing in person, especially in small groups. So if you have 2 or 3 people, or maybe 4 or 5, and you want to run a quick little game over 2 or 3 hours, in the man cave, the garage, the den, at the convention, wherever you may be, this here is probably the ideal rule set for that, in my opinion. Um, but you have all of these different resources here in the IKS, and of course you can join our Discord here. And where is our Discord? Down here. I think we need to move that up. If we want people to join the Discord, we should probably have the link up top. I'll talk to our webmaster, Jan Heinemann, about that and see if he will make that change. We are, of course, signers to the Derby House Principles. We are all about inclusiveness and diversity in wargaming, and that's very, very important to us. It's why this ranks so high on our front page. So That's a big deal for us. But there you go. There is how to access the group and become a participant in our organization. I have up here the K22 online module, which of course you can get this for free. Has a little bit of a cheat sheet over here, rules aid and other things. I updated this, and I think I updated it before Christmas, and I may have announced that this was updated on Christmas, which was a week ago when we ran the last Coffee, Kegs, and Kriegsspiel. But in any case, if you didn't know or whatever, this module got broken, so I went in and I fixed it. And it is much simplified. I don't have all of the stuff that was in it before, but I think that was the stuff that was breaking it. So in here you have all the components that you need to play, the extra little things and the doodads and doohickeys, even unfortunately the cute little memes I had. I took all that out. I'd like to put the memes back. The memes are fun. I had little tiles with memes on them that were sometimes appropriate to things happening on the battlefield that you could just drop in whenever, and include those in a screenshot if you wanted. And then we have, yeah, these are the point tokens and so on if you want to get people to build their units. So all of this is here and it's available, it's functional, it's ready to go, and it should be a lot of fun for you to play with. Let's take a look at the IKS itself. This here is our Discord. I'm going to pull this up. Look, hey, Dog Pilot, good to see you there. Let's see. You see here on the left, we have a whole bunch of servers. Now, I can't really go into detail on these servers because these are secret. They're secret from other players. But we do have multiple servers here. In particular, this server all the way down to this one here is a campaign called the Red versus Blue campaign, and that's taking place in a fictional universe called Reeswilt, or technically a continent called Reeswilt. Let's see, I can open that map, and this is a dated map, so I'm not giving away any secrets now. Everybody who is in the campaign should more or less see or know that these events have happened, but we have units that are running around this map. So, and I can also delete things. There you go. Now it's gone. Now you have to rewind. But the map itself is a little outdated. We've done a new version of the map. I can actually replace that in here, I believe. Let's see here. If I do this, replace this in real time. Let's see here, 1.5a. And then we have the current version of the map as well. So we have all these cool things happening on this continent. You have 6 different nations, and they're all fighting each other. If you're part of the IKS, you probably know quite a bit about this campaign. Even if you're not participating, you're probably following it on some level. And here's the new map. It's got to load in. I hope I don't break it, but we'll see. We have down here the black box, which Peter uses to resolve combats or battles in his own way. Yep, here's the new map. So we've changed some symbols out. We've labeled some spots. There's little changes that are made. Leeson finally has their Macdam Road, although there are issues with that. There's issues with everything, though, so these guys, they come up with these technological advancements, but we usually don't give without also delivering some kind of a problem or a curse. We've labeled the different nations. So it's a really cool campaign. This campaign is about to wrap up here in the month of January. The current iteration of the campaign will wrap up. And then once it is wrapped up, we're going to move into a new year. We are going to take about a 1 to 2 week, it'll probably be a 2-week break. We'll allow players to kind of jump out and jump off if they want to get out, invite new people in, and I'm also hoping to recruit an umpire for each of these nations, preferably someone who has been playing each of these nations. And the reason why I want to do that is because we want people who know and understand the politics and the aims and the goals and what's been going on. I want them to have that sense of history. We are keeping track of the history in various ways. We have an almanac which some players may not even know about. I'll pull that up so you guys can see the almanac for red versus blue. It's called the Reeswelt Almanac. And it's actually open source, so people can edit it. And, you just come through here and you can read and you can catch up on the history and what's been going on in the nation. So, all kinds of cool stuff here that's interesting to people who want to play. It is cool because you have this political layer as well as a military layer, and then what happens in the game is permanent. It sticks. So if you go fighting and you lose a nation, or I'm sorry, if you lose an army or something, that army is gone forever. If you die in the campaign, well, your character dies, you're out, you're done. We usually let people come back, but there's a penalty, that you have to incur. And what this does is it raises the emotional stakes for the players in the game because now the players realize I put all this work into building a character, I put all this effort into building an army or to building up my nation, and then all of a sudden I make a mistake or something happens, I die, the army dies, the nation gets defeated in war. There are consequences, and these borders they move, so there are all these little consequences and things that happen, and the consequences stick. It changes the way that people play. They become a little less bloodthirsty and a little less aggressive and a little more cautious. They think twice a little better now before they do things because they realize that there are consequences to the campaign, not just to their country, but to they themselves. That emotional investment gets people caught up, which is what we want because it changes the way people play. Traditionally, when people play Kriegsspiel games, they just kind of do what I call pushing the pieces to the middle of the map, and they duke it out, they fight to the death, and that is not really how wars are fought or battles are fought in real life. Generally speaking, you have a campaign and maneuver, and both sides are trying to defeat the enemy with minimal cost to themselves. So, efficiency is important, but they're willing to burn bullets, beans, and gas if they have to in order to outmaneuver and destroy the enemy at minimal cost to themselves because the human lives are most important. Preservation of the force is important. The red versus blue campaign is intended to simulate that, get people to pay attention to that in making decisions, which is not something they typically do when they play games on our open Saturday events and stuff. A lot of times, they just take their stack of pieces here and a stack of pieces here, and they end up somewhere around here fighting to the death. And, that's fun, but it isn't realistic. So that's the reason for the campaign. Some other stuff that we have going on. Let's take a look here. If I go into right here, I have a secret area here called Area 51, which is not secret because I'm showing it to everyone on the podcast, but it will stay secret because nobody watches the podcast. I just talked to myself for 30 minutes. But we are developing, I am working on a plane versus plane system for Kriegsspiel, which I think will actually work really well. But you design your planes. So there was going to be kind of a designer for the planes. You're going to have a certain number of attribute points that you can assign in different categories, and then the differential between those categories helps the umpire to adjudicate the decision. Of course, you as the pilot, you as the player, will have to decide what the maneuvers will be, and if you make the correct decisions, then you're more likely to be victorious. If you make poor decisions, well, you're going to have a consequence. So that's going on. Going back to the IKS main, we have all kinds of stuff. Here's the game that's going on. Here's Red 1. We have a group of people. I think these are the umpires because Ottovsky is umpiring, or Blaze could be, this could be two umpires. I think Blaze is observing or umpiring. Otto is running the game using probably the Ottovsky system, which you saw earlier. and we have a couple players here that are together on the map, and then we have a few other players over here on Blue 1. They are not live streaming the game, but if they were, we could kind of drop in, but I don't want to interrupt them. Um, let's take a quick peek at the YouTube before we wrap up here, because I do want you to see how you can view our games and our events, um, even if you're not really a member or a participant in the IKS. So let's see here. What do we have here? Let me go to your channel, and you go here, and you see for one that we're live here. I don't know why it shows two. I guess because live now, whatever. And we have a bunch of episodes here. Here's our podcast. Here's our D-Day stuff and others. And what you want to do is you want to click here on live. And that's going to show you a lot of our live games that have been streamed live. So we have a whole bunch of different things here. Franco-Prussian War scenario and stuff. Whenever I play, I tend to stream the games live. Here's Grand Bull Run. And if I don't pause it, it's gonna let me mute it, because then the audio will compete. And we run all kinds of cool events here. So here is Grand Bull Run. Here's just a picture of it. You have Union forces coming across Bull Run here with Confederates attempting to block them with not much success, though. It doesn't look like the Confederates have a lot. They have a column coming up. But you can watch how all of this stuff unfolds by watching our YouTube channel and our live stream. So in the year to come, we've got some cool stuff. We are breaking away from traditional Kriegsspiel, traditional Napoleonic Kriegsspiel. We're going to be doing more World War II stuff, more modern era stuff, and so on. We're even thinking about a Star Trek type campaign, where I don't know what I can technically say, but it's basically Star Trek. And we've come up with a basic and rudimentary system for the ship combat and stuff like that. We do want to keep it simple so that it plays quickly and that you are focused on the decisions that a commander would have to make at that time and place. But there we go. But it should be a lot of fun, and really that's the whole point of this exercise. Let's see, a dog pilot says you put it on the second monitor, or wait, it's because I'm listening to the audio through Discord. Okay. I hope that my audio is coming in all right. Here I am, I've gone for 16 minutes, and if the audio isn't working, testing, testing. There is nobody else on here except for me, so I think the audio should be okay. It looks like it's coming in all right. But yeah, my audio issues are common here for whatever reason. Not Discord. OBS tends to switch the mics around and other things. So yeah. So anyway, but as long as the audio's coming in good, I'm happy. Um, that's kind of what we got going on. Some notes about the month of January. I have a lot of stuff going on for the month of January for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Almost as busy as December was for me, but I will be working very hard to be on live to do the podcasts for you. I'm not going to be playing in very many games, however. We will still be finishing up, of course, Red versus Blue, which we actually played during the week. It's play by post. So that will be happening. Next Sunday, I have Kriegsspiel Company here in my house. I have Mike Sheeter, who is one of the original members of the Southern California Kriegsspiel Society, who will be staying with me for the weekend, and his family and my family will be together here. So I'm not 100% sure. I think we'll still do a podcast. I'm just not really sure what we'll be doing. I would like to find some other additional hosts who would be interested in coming on and talking about more relevant things such as battles, problems, dilemmas, other things. And that is also another thing that I'd like to get back to in this podcast, because traditionally in this podcast we've talked about problems and dilemmas. I do want to talk about that. in upcoming episodes. So we have kind of gotten a little away from that because a lot of times we recap our most recent game in the past couple episodes because nobody's really around. You know, it's either Christmas Day or in this case New Year's Day. You know, it's kind of compromised. You know, there's not a lot going on. But in subsequent weekends, we will have more viewership. We will have full on games. There will be fewer distractions. They won't be falling on major holidays. So we'll have more meat and potatoes in the content of our upcoming episodes. So I also have some travel that I've got to get going here in January that may impact the show a little bit in January. Come February, the second or third week, I know there's also a convention where I'm going to be running Kriegsspiel in person on a Sunday. So again, I really could use a little help, a little co-host, somebody who wants to come on here and run these shows when I can. By mid to late February, things should be smoothed out back to normal, and the show will also be back to normal as well. And we will continue all the way through 2023 and beyond. So, as long as this association continues to grow and flourish, we've been here now for, gosh, almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years come this spring. And we're not slowing down, we're not stopping, we're not going anywhere. If anything, we're growing by leaps and bounds. We've outgrown our original server many times over, so that you saw how many servers were on my Discord. So we have a lot of cool stuff going on, and I'm really excited for the year to come. Well, if you've bore with me this long, you deserve a medal, I gotta tell you. But I am going to wrap up just a little early because it is New Year's Day, and I kind of rambled on about all I can ramble on. I'm at my limit of rambling, and you're probably at your limit of listening to me. And no shame in that. It is what it is. But I want to thank you all for being with us throughout 2022. I want to thank you for continuing to be with us through 2023. I want to invite newcomers and people watching this for the first time to participate with us, join us, and it's going to be a good year. So that's all I've got. Thank you, and we will see you on our next adventure. Bye for now.